thanks very much. And there are a lot of very good points here. Can I just say what's coming across to me this evening is actually how, whether you believe this or not, I don't know, we are absolutely trying to achieve the same that you as you are. Let me just explain what I mean by that, because that may not be coming across. And let me try and explain to you what it is we're trying to do. And it goes back to what I said at the beginning, really. There are three, for my money, there are three things we've got to solve in these discussions. And this goes back to your question, how can we do this together? The first question is, I'm afraid, this question about safety. Now, I've heard exactly what people have said, that it is unsafe to send people away and delay their care, and that is absolutely true too. So we've got to bear that in mind. That's enough. That's a fact. It is also a fact that we have an A&E department which, because the staffing has reduced over time, has reached a point where the professionals are saying you cannot keep a department open like this other than in the immediate short term, because there are real risks involved in that, and that is just as much about people's lives as anything else. So we've got to resolve that. It's not a made-up problem, it's a real problem. And it's got worse over time. And you're quite right, the blight which the South Wales programme has put over that department has been real. As a number of you have said today, who is going to take their consultant job at the age of, in their mid-30s, their first consultant job, they hope to be there for the next 30 years until they retire, in a department that has got a cloud hanging over it? People won't come, and people haven't come, primarily, I think, for that reason. So that is why we have got to have some clarity about the future, because until we've resolved that, we can put as many adverts out there as we want, and people will still say, but what's the future? So we've got to have clarity over the future, and that is absolutely what we're trying to do now. So the first point is, there's a real safety issue. The second point is, as we've said before, there are something like 12 or 1,500 vacancies across the country. You can speak to people in the most attractive parts of the UK where you would think people will be flocking to go, and not a single person applies for a job in the A&E department. There is a real shortage. We've got to appeal to people, and this does come back, sir, to your point about how can we do this together. What we've got to offer people is a package that beats the packages elsewhere. And by a package, I think, as Nick has said, there may be a financial element in it. I'm not naive. I do realise that people are sometimes motivated by money. But that isn't the biggest issue. What a consultant in their early 30s wants is a job that is going to reward them, is going to give them job satisfaction, is going to give them a career, is going to give them what they came into medicine for in the first place. And that will vary from doctor to doctor. There are some adrenaline junkies who want to work all the hours that God sends in the busiest and most scary department you can find, and that's great. They'll do that, and that's what they want. There are other people who want a work-life balance, who would quite like a part-time job, who quite like not to have to work too many evenings because they've got a young family. There'll be others who've got a yearning to do a bit of research alongside their role. So we've got to appeal to those people. I take your point. So that's what we've got to do. That's absolutely what we're trying to do. We've got to have some clarity about the future.
You can tell Wales in this as well. Where we sit now is 20 minutes from the mountains and 20 minutes from the beaches.
Yeah, listen, excuse